This is Dolynny TV, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening and welcome back to another Edmonton Oilers discussion here. And this one's a little more personal than a regular. Just a quick synopsis of why this third round series is just going to be so dang special to me, especially given the fact of, right, the Oilers haven't been here in a while, the Colorado Avalanche haven't been here in a while. There's a ton of storylines coming potentially out of the East, whether it be the Rangers, whether it be the Hurricanes, whether it be the Tampa Bay Lightning. We are not losing no matter what happens if the Oilers are capable of getting on to the next round and facing an opponent from the East in the Stanley Cup final. But first, you got to face the Colorado Avalanche. Now, I've talked at length that I have a good buddy that's a big-time Avs fan, and that in itself is going to be just a blast to sit there and enjoy a rivalry that I think for both of us has been a long time coming. If you asked us both where should both teams be by the time we're ready to go to the Cup final, and I think we'd both be saying the Western Conference final potentially against each other. Mac versus Mick, right? Oh man, the storylines that you can run. But this one is, like I said, a little bit more personal given the fact of where I am in my life right now and where the Oilers were and where I was at my last time watching the Oilers play in the third round or Stanley Cup final. Back in '06, I was in the prime of my childhood. Back in the time, the young innocent years where hockey was able to absolutely just captivate and take over every essence of my life. A lot of you folks back home are like, man, Tyson's probably played a good couple of seasons of hockey, never stuck with it, obviously, whatever. I have never played a stitch of competitive hockey in my life. Never once laced them up in a minor hockey game, any kind of game at all have I ever laced them up. Not even any kind of corny stuff. I've never laced them up in any kind of sanctioned hockey game in any level of hockey. That's number one, right? For me, the NHL, the Oilers, they took over what hockey is to me. I never had that, like, hockey is with my teammates. No, I had the Oilers are my ride or die 100%. And that all began, I did talk at length a little bit about my '04 experience a little bit before I was ready to let hockey take over my life. But '05, '06, the prime of my childhood, and right there, the Oilers at the center of it, absolutely going on a magical run, the 8th seed all the way to Game 7 of the Stanley Cup final, and they just couldn't get it done, but that's a-okay. You know what? That was enough to, obviously, through all the bad, all the good that's happened over the past 16 years, hook a young kid at the time and take him into his mid-20s and still have him here in front of you talking about just how much he loves those dang Edmonton Oilers, right? And now, that's why it's personal from back then. Why it's personal now is at the prime of my life when I feel at the best level of my performance, right? I feel like A, at ball I'm performing my best, B, in life I'm performing my best, C, at work I'm performing my best, and D, just as an overall human being, I am performing my best I have at any point in my adult life. And here we are, the prime of my 20s, enjoying the heck out of the Edmonton Oilers in the third round of the Stanley Cup final or playoffs with a chance to go to the Stanley Cup final. Are you kidding me, right? They did it once to me in the prime of my childhood, and here we are once again. Would have liked to have it at the prime of my teens too, but dark years is what it is. But here we are in the prime of my 20s, getting to enjoy the Edmonton Oilers in the Stanley Cup playoffs, third round, like I said, against a good buddy's team, a buddy that I know bleeds that burgundy and blue, and I mean, that is what makes it so special to me, is that on the opposite side, I know there is someone that is dying the reverse side of every puck that I am dying on for the Edmonton Oilers this series. And part of what's special about that too is because that's one of my best friendships down here in southern Alberta, right? I came down here, again, this is the prime of my 20s, but I came down here in my early 20s and completely rebuilt what my life was. Obviously, Dolynny TV then transformed into the Edmonton Oilers superpower you know it to be, or knew it to be, whatever you want to say. I'm still working my way back. I know, the long road to recovery, but it is what it is. But there's been a lot of things that I've had to go and rewrite, rework over, change in my adult life down here in southern Alberta that just was not possible in Cold Lake. And to make some powerful connections, some of my best friends down here in southern Alberta are also Oilers fans, which I got to enjoy the games at the campsite with. It was fantastic. You guys saw the coverage live from Rimbey, covering the Kraken tournament up there and having a great weekend of ball, a great successful couple of hockey games for the Oilers, and away we went. But you just see what it all means is it's just kind of that same magic that the 06 run had, just instead of just what the Oilers did in 06, it's a little bit of everything. The prime of my 20s coming together and kind of working with what is a great season and what is continuing to be a great playoffs from the Edmonton Oilers, right? This is all coming at once, and a guy's got to soak it in and enjoy every single dang moment. And guys, I forgot to say this, but let's be honest, we get games at 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock start times. Oh my God, let's go. That is flipping phenomenal. I cannot believe we finally get some 6 o'clock start times. And that feels good because you know what? 6 o'clock is that perfect time when everybody should be home. Everybody should be just sitting down, cracking a bevy and getting on the couch. Hey, you missed my live stream over on Clem Hawks today. I was cracking the Pepsis, getting going. A guy that, right, 2 years almost sober here. You got to still have a bevy while you're enjoying the game. And Pepsi might not be the best choice for you. But, hey, end of the day, you can't have a good hockey game without a good can in the hand, right? Anyway, guys, I'm Tyson. This is Dolynny TV. This has been just personally why this series means so much, right? The Battle of Alberta, I kind of hyped it up. The first round of the series against the Kings, I hyped that up too. But now you get the personal feel of we are in uncharted territory since the first time I became a hockey fan, and hardcore, and hooked me ever since. And the Oilers now have a chance to run it back if they can get past the Colorado Avalanche. But it all comes together at the perfect time in my life. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Tyson. This is Dolynny TV. Up on out of here.